Good evening and welcome to DETV News, your trusted news source. I'm Lauren Wilson. Tonight, we begin with an announcement from lawmakers you'll be happy to hear. As Delaware emerges from the pandemic, we all know economic issues like inflation have hit households hard. To help, a plan has been put in place to provide some extra money to state taxpayers this spring. The relief plan would send $300 in direct payments to every Delawarean who filed a 2020 tax return. In a statement, House Majority Leader Valerie Longhurst said, "Our economic recovery has been strong in many ways, but has also been slammed with residents with new challenges of increasing cost in almost every facet of their life. Delawareans emerging from the pandemic are facing higher prices at the grocery store, at the gas pump, and for many goods and services they rely on every day." Providing the $300 rebate for each of the more than 600,000 Delawareans who filed a 2020 tax return would cost about $186.6 million. In other news, last week we reported the devastating loss of beloved Warner Elementary School principal Dr. Terrence Newton. Newton died from injuries sustained in a motorcycle crash on March 18th. Although many in the community are mourning his loss, they didn't stop from continuing his legacy. DETV reporter Kaylin Pride has more on how the community showed up and showed out in honor of Dr. Terrence Newton.
The community was shocked and saddened by the tragic and unexpected loss of Warner Elementary School principal Dr. Terrence Newton. Known as an inspiration to many, he was determined to make a difference, and this is what made him a great and valued community leader. Before his passing, Dr. Newton would greet his students every morning outside the steps of the elementary school. Last week, community members, leaders, former educators, and students showed great support and greeted the young students with warmth and kindness as they arrived at school, just like Dr. Newton would.
And we're here to support the PTA in the school and help greet kids the way Newt did every morning. We're devastated by his loss, the loss of him, and he was an amazing principal.
You know, he was community minded, and it's just as a testament that, you know, the community is out in support. And mourning his loss, you know, together. So this will continue to be a healing process for us. You know, we'll do all we can to make sure that the community stays connected to Warner and Dr. Newton's legacy.
Growing up how we grew up and where we come from and seeing this in honor of him, it's amazing. Because I remember how it was when we were younger. And if we had this, what he started when we were younger, it would be a lot more people in position how he was.
Throughout the week, state officials sent out statements in regards to his passing. Senator Coons said in part of his statement that Terrence was a pillar of the community and that his passing will leave a hole in the fabric of Wilmington that we all must try to fill by following his example of daily service and heartfelt action.
My goal is to change the world, and we have to start with our kids and just building that relationship right there.
With DETV, I'm Kaylin Pride.
A ceremony will be scheduled in the near future to rename a portion of West 18th Street where the school is located after Dr. Newton. The school's library will also be named in his honor. At the Dover Capitol, it was a busy yet joyous afternoon on Thursday. Lieutenant Governor Bethany Hall Long first signed a proclamation honoring women and girls in STEM Day. They were joined by members of Inspiring Women in STEM, the Delaware Foundation for Science and Math Education, and others. And later, a ceremonial copy of the Crown Act, a bill which prohibits discrimination on the basis of traits historically associated with race, was also signed. The 2019 study found that Black women are 80% more likely to change their natural hair to meet social norms and expectations in the workplace, 50% more likely to be sent home from work because of their hair, and 30% more likely to be made aware of a formal workplace appearance policy. The Crown Act, or Senate Bill 32, makes it clear that race also includes hair texture and protective hairstyles, including braids, locks, and twists. Switching gears now, if you're a history buff or someone who enjoys educational programs, The Delaware Division of Historical and Cultural Affairs will be sponsoring a wide variety of activities this month in April. Activities include a lecture on the War of 1812 and several Dutch-themed offerings. All programs are free and open to the public. You can find the full schedule of events on the HCA's website at history.delaware.gov. Turning now to weather, it was downright cold today, especially for spring, and I think I even saw some flurries out there this afternoon. Isn't that right, Shakira?
You are absolutely right, and I can't believe it myself. It's almost April, so I'm pretty shocked. But let's take a look at our forecast for the next few days in Newcastle County. Tomorrow, it will be a much sunnier day, but still pretty chilly, with temperatures at a high of 44 degrees. Wednesday will definitely have cloudy skies, but at least the temperature will be in the 50s. And on Thursday, it'll be a pretty windy day with scattered thunderstorms in the afternoon. And I'm also giving everyone a fair warning because we will be seeing a potential severe thunderstorm during the day and in the evening. The storm should continue, followed by occasional showers overnight. So Lauren, I'm not sure what the weather is doing. I'm just looking forward to just sunny and warm skies at this point. So.
I know, let's bring on spring, really.
Let's bring it on, let's bring it on.
And up next, Nick Alessandrini is here in the studio to give us our weekly dose of DETV sports. Nick?
Thanks, Lauren. Even though the weather doesn't quite feel like we're into spring sports here in Delaware, we certainly are. And we have some rankings for you with the help of Delaware Live Sports to get things started for the spring. Let's start with baseball. Last year's champs, DMA, began at the top of the preseason rankings, but an opening day loss to Archmere drops them a few spots to number 4. Apo takes over that top spot with the Spartans of St. Mark's right behind them at number 2. Sussex Central, DMA, and Sussex Tech, they round out the top 5. Sally's, they come in at number 6. Cade Penlopen 7, Conrad 8, Caravel 9, and Archmere cracking the top 10 after that big win to open their season. Now to the circle as we take a look at some of the 2022 softball top 10s as we kick off the season. And it all starts with the Sussex Central Golden Knights led by star Madge Layfield. The returning state champion Caravel Bucks, they are right behind them at number 2. Laurel, St. Mark's, and DMA are rounding out the top 5. Apo, Sussex Tech, Newark Charter, and Red Lion are your 6 through 9. And then Delamar able to get in there at number 10. And it's not just baseball and softball season, it's time for lacrosse this spring as well. So let's take a look at those rankings right now on your screen. We'll begin with the boys and the returning state champions, Salesianum. They're your top team as we begin here in 2022. Their opponent in that 2021 title game, the Cape Henlopen Vikings, are right behind them at number 2. As we take a look at the rest of the top 10, Sanford at 3, Archmere 4, CR 5, Apo 6, and then Tower Hill, DMA, Sussex Academy, and Smyrna in there for your top 10. For the girls, it's the returning state champions, the Cape Henlopen Vikings, as your top-ranked team in 2022. They took home their 12th straight state title last season and haven't dropped a game here in Delaware since 2009. We'll take a look at those rankings, and like I said, it all starts right behind the Cape Henlopen Vikings. They are your top team. Then Tatnall, Archmere, Tower Hill, and St. Mark's. Then Ursuline, Caravel, Polytech, Friends, and it's the Padua Pandas closing things out at number 10. Now we're going to head over to the pitch as we finish off the girls D1 and D2 soccer rankings. We'll start in D1 with the top team in the state coming off that back-to-back state titles, both 2019 and 2021. That is the Padua Pandas. Their opponent in that state title game last season, the Smyrna Eagles, who played in their first ever championship last season, comes in at number 2. Wilmington Charter and the Force at 3. Middletown and CR rounding out your top 5. Apo, Cape Henlopen, Dover, Sussex Tech, and then Polytech in there at number 10 for your girls soccer rankings. And now we'll head over to D2, and that's a similar story there. Returning state champions, the Caravel Bucks. They're your top team to kick off the season. They also went back-to-back and defended their state title last year with a 3-2 win over the St. Mark Spartans, who are right behind them at 2. DMA, Indian River, and Archmere round out the top 5. And then Ursuline, Friends, Sussex Academy, and Conrad and Tower Hill finishing up your top 10. March Madness is still ongoing as we wind down the month of March, but it was just a few weeks ago that the Delaware women's basketball head coach Natasha Adair and her squad were holding up that CAA championship trophy and playing in the NCAA tournament. The Hens, though, are going to have to try and do it without their coach Adair next season. Head coach Adair announced on Sunday that she would be accepting a job at Arizona State University. Adair will take over for former Sun Devil head coach Charlie Turner-Thorne, who has led the program for the last 25 years. In 2020-2021, Adair led Delaware to the CAA regular season title and the Final Four of the WNIT. And obviously this season, she helped the Hands to the big dance. Some big news for Delaware State as guard Miles Carter was selected to play in the inaugural HBCU All-Star Game on Sunday, April 3rd as part of the Final Four weekend in New Orleans. The game, broadcast on CBS, will bring national attention to some of the best players at HBCUs around the country. Carter finished with the best scoring average in the MEAC at just under 17 points per game. Congrats, Miles, and everyone can check him out live on Sunday, April 3rd on CBS. And don't forget, Saturday morning, we'll be bringing you our Final Four preview show right here on DETV. So that's all your weekly sports update here. I'm Nick Alessandrini. Back over to you, Lauren.
Thanks, Nick. And that's all for tonight. Thanks for watching DETV News. I'm Lauren Wilson. Be sure to check us out across social media. Stay well, and we'll see you next time.